I've been blessed enough to be in the real estate business for coming up to 20 years. I have a team of about 40 realtors that covers the Southern Ontario market. We help a little over 700 families every single year create wealth in real estate. And 80% of that, of the 700 families that we help, quick math, about 560 of them, they all came through our social media. On the backs of that strategy, 2 years ago, I started a coaching company specifically for real estate professionals. And in the last 2 years, we have a little over revenues of 1.2 million. 100% of those revenues came through all my efforts on social media. Now, I'm not telling you all this to impress you, as the kids say, flex and brag. Anybody who does know me, that's not my style. I'm telling you all this because I hope out of the hundreds upon hundreds of people that are here today, 5 of you take action. Because I know only 5 of you are going to end up taking action. That's just what I've come to realize after doing these events for the last decade. And I'm going to touch on what I've noticed, the patterns that I've noticed, why people don't take action. I urge you to take a lot of notes. I generally go into Q&A, but I know I don't have a lot of time for that today. So I'm going to promise you that if you DM me your questions, I will get back to them. It's always me. I don't have any bots. I do have a large team, but no one answers the questions in my DM. Who is on Instagram here? Just put up your hands. And just to the AV crew, I'm not sure if they're able to do it. There's some like really good looking people in this room. I would love to see them. Can we put the lights on? I'm not sure if we're able to do that. Oh, wow, thank you. That was quick. Much better, much better. I want you to take notes because I need to speak a little fast because of the time. Here's the strategies I want you to take on. Number 1 is understand that you have to get awareness for this business that you're in. If you're trying to do ones or twosy deals, like you want to invest once, I'm not really speaking to you. But as an investor, if you're actually looking to build a portfolio, you are going to hit a wall really quickly. That wall is that you're not going to be able to get financing from the traditional ways of getting financing. You're going to need to attract that beautiful, beautiful 3-letter acronym in real estate, OPM, other people's money. But if you have no credibility and you don't speak about what you're trying to accomplish and why somebody should possibly do a joint venture with you, why somebody should listen to you when you're thinking about raising capital, would you do that with someone? So in 2024, there's about 7 to 8 platforms on this device that at one point you need to be on all of them. Now I know I sound like I'm on crack. I'm not. That was one of my best fucking jokes, and I got like 2 laughs on that. We laughed. All right, I got this table. This table I got. That's going to be tough for majority of people if you're starting at 0. So I'm going to give you a strategy that I implemented 5 years ago. It got me that 80% of business with my real estate business, 100% with my coaching business. Here's the strategy. It's the easiest thing to do, but you actually have to be consistent. That strategy is starting a 30-minute podcast. Who listens to podcasts once a week? Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Okay. Out of the people who put up their hands, just look around, everyone. Who actually produces a podcast once a week? Nobody. So we go there and we consume, but we don't actually put out to get the awareness that we need for our business. Very bad strategy. Being reactive in life is never a good strategy. The top 1%, they do the shit that the other 99% aren't willing to do. That's why I know there's going to be 5 of you who actually take me on. Once a week, I need you to do a 30-minute recording with someone that is doing what you want to do. For example, sitting down with another investor, sitting down with a home inspector, sitting down with a lender, sitting down with a lawyer, sitting down with someone from Equiton, sitting down with someone from any of the booths that you see out there. I got a funny feeling the 5 people that are going to do this, if you go to those booths right now, because we know why they're here, they're trying to build relationships. There's probably about 30. You have 30 episodes. How? Ask everybody in that booth and say, would you do a 30-minute recording with me and speak about what the process is of whatever the heck you do? So you have 30 of your 52 episodes already done. The reason you want to go long form in terms of 30 minutes is because as a host, it's the easiest job. Here's the 5 questions that you always want to have in your back pocket. Start taking notes. What, where, when, how, why? It's all you need to ask as a podcast host. Believe me, I'm not that smart. I barely passed high school. I think they just pushed me out to get me out. So I needed to find hacks. Hacks, another word for that is shortcuts. And the shortcut that I found was, at the start, I don't like being on camera. That stuff is real weird for me. So I started an audio-only podcast. Thought I had an okay voice. It's maybe not the most sexiest voice in the world, but no one told me it really sucks. And so I started an audio-only podcast. After episode 20, I'm now at 253 episodes. After episode 20, that's when I realized the magical power of just having a camera, but not speaking to it. So having a camera on to the side, the reason is because now you can take clips out of it. See, when I started it 5 years ago, I needed all these good-looking videographers and editors. No knock on my boy who's with me right now. I don't really need them as much. And you definitely don't. There's no cost incurred. Guys, I'm East Indian. My mom negotiates over apples back home. So when I heard this shit is free, blew my mind. I was like, let's go. How are you going to take clips out? AI, artificial intelligence. If you have not spent 30, 40 hours on this, please do. This is not the robots are going to take over our lives and all that and they're going to kill us. Not that shit. There's technology that is happening in front of us right now that is going to make our lives much easier. And when it comes to content, you can take that 30-minute conversation, you put it into an AI software that costs you $100 a year. It will spit back out to you within 50 seconds, 8 to 10 little clips that you take and put on social media. That then goes, when I say social media, that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yes, TikTok, it's not all about the shaking booties and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of awareness. Hundreds upon hundreds of millions of people go on TikTok every single day. Those are your possible customers for your business. But they don't know you yet. Hence why we need to get back to understanding why we need to do this. Now, I can't go into it deeper in terms of the importance of having an email list for your business. Because if you do and you start this email list, you can take that 30-minute conversation and send it to everyone. And this is not a podcast where you're selling your services. They will come to you if you educate people and inform people. Think about it. If I came here and just sold you for the last 25 minutes on a service, it's probably not going to work well. So let me peel back the curtains. Why am I actually here? Well, if I give you some education, maybe give you a good experience, you might look into me and do a deep dive and say, what does this guy really do? And then send me a message. And now we can have a conversation. So make sure you stay away from selling on this podcast. Just educate and inform. You have 30 episodes already done for you. All you got to do is talk to every single booth person in there. Now, the second strategy that you got to take, that's a podcast, long form, 30 minutes. You clip 7, 8 pieces out of that 30 minutes, put it on social media. You got to post for every single day. However, for my real go-getters, the top 1% in this room, here's another strategy. 3 times a week, bare minimum. I do this 3 times a day. I like to say I'm passionate. Some people say I'm obsessed, but I use the word passionate. And I have big dreams and big goals. So I put out 3 videos on all those platforms that I mentioned a day. I'm only asking you, the top 1% that are gonna do this, to do 3 videos a week. What are these videos gonna be about? Well, I have a challenge for you today. At lunch, I want you to take your phone out, go into selfie mode, and tell me why you got into real estate. Why real estate? 1-minute video, wrap it up. Nobody wants to hear all the nonsense. Wrap it up in a minute. Tell me why you chose real estate as your vehicle. This is your challenge, to do it at lunch and actually post it. Because I know how many of you have videos in your drafts.